Imperies of space, altered Deuteron, clock time. The love of Amanda. Year 2347. The line between humans and machines has been blurred many years ago, but in the richest and darkest sections of the city, secret business and treason are intertwined behind closed doors and an oppression that can sink the fate of humanity. I live in the lowlands of the metropolis. My eyes shine with the light of the screens and my fingers dance on the T working in bioimplant engineering for the Neurotech Corporation. My mind is connected to the network and my thoughts flow and whistle to fatigue, and don't get tired, but yes. One day, at a work conference, I met Amanda. She worked clothing in the style of tactical uniforms, cut into softer, delicate fabrics with stylish endings and wearing a collar with multifunction microchips. My circuit tattoo on the arm warned me was barely within the range of the integrated scanner. What I didn't expect was my hormones to be fired in an intense and natural way. In public. And seat when most fast I can, abraced me one leg to cover my friend who had stood up. Our gazes crossed, and time stopped. Amanda looked at me in almost imperceptible moment and in her eyes shone something that was between laughter and joy. I became the distracted simulating concentrating on my hand screen. Between the movement of the messy crowd, he ended up sitting next to me. The conference, with its focus on minimizing expenditure and increasing profits, was the perfect backdrop for that conversation. The corridors are full of people with cyber implants and eyes that hide more than they reveal. Amanda, she slipped towards the seat next to me, her sharp look assessing every detail. Her soft and sweet, but firm, feminine voice. Working on the optimization of bioimplants, right? Neurotech always seeks efficiency. What do you think of the latest update on neural interface models? I was surprised by his direct knowledge of my work. Nobody else at the conference was aware. Yes, exactly. The new neural interface has made a lot of progress in recent days. But don't you think we're sacrificing something important in terms of efficiency? Direct connection to the network can have unforeseen consequences. By the way, I'm Alex, even though I am sure she would already know. Amanda, she smiles, and it's a smile that gets to her eyes. I know those concerns. But, Alex, don't you think evolution always involves certain risks? Humanity has come a long way to stop now. Moreover, what is life without a little risk? I lay on the back of the chair, staring at it. And delighting me with her beautiful curves. You are right. Sometimes I wonder if we are losing something in the fusion of human and machine. Where is the human essence in all this? Amanda, he leaned toward me, his intense look. The human essence, Alex, is to adapt. Survive. And, sometimes, that means leaving behind what we used to consider and finding that the essential amplifies into something bigger. Don't you think true evolution lies in the ability to change, even when that scares us? And so, in the middle of the conference, a dialogue began that could change everything. What else would Amanda and I have said? I was ecstatic in front of her gaze of cheerful eyes. After the conference, Amanda and I met in an underground cafe. The thin lights created shadows on his face, and his gaze remained a mystery. I took a bite of my synthetic drink and decided to break the ice. How did you know so much about implants? I asked, trying to sound random. She smiled, and that smile seemed to contain secrets. I am an observer, Alex. Besides, I have my own connections in neurotech. Sometimes, information flows faster than protocols allow. And what are you bringing? I asked, curious. Amanda leaned her chin on the palm of her hand. The search for answers. Why are we here? What makes us human? Implants are just a part of the equation. But there's also something else. Her eyes were lost in the distance. Something else. I insisted. The rumors speak of a secret project called Altered Cabbage, CA, Amanda whispered. They say it's the key to transcending the limitations of the flesh and the machine. Something that could change the fate of humanity. My pulse accelerated. And you believe in that? She bowed toward me. I believe what I see, Alex. And I have seen things that cannot yet be explained satisfactorily. Implants that challenge the laws of physics. Lies woven into the very code of our existence. And what does all this have to do with us? I asked, feeling that we were in dangerous territory. Amanda took my hand. You and I, Alex, are pieces of a larger puzzle. Something unites us, something that goes beyond biology or technology. Don't you feel that connection? The connection I first imagined was the one that had to do with some kind of horizontal dance. The truth was, I felt it. Ever since I saw her at the conference, I've been impressed. What are we doing now? I asked with the most delicious of wishes, looking at her intense eyes. She got even closer. Let's investigate. We discover the truth behind Altered Goat. And, if necessary, we will challenge the powers that oppress us. I agreed. At that time, we weren't just engineers. We were accomplices in a search. And while the world was asleep, Amanda and I plunged into the fog of the future. Amanda and I continue our search for answers. In the city's bullshit, we find informants with cyber addictions and sealed mouths. One of them, a former survivor of the collapse of the old coast named Zephyr. A trafficker of information of all kinds, especially of which the government censors, abrogating network functions. We had to meet ourselves personally in a campground near the harbor and took us to an underground tavern where the words flow with synthetic liquor, a lot of liquors, well synthetics. Zephyr adjusted his eye booster and looked at us with almost ridiculous grace. He owed me favors, well, I also owed him some, business matter. Altered bastard, he whispered, or they take me for a month. That's the key. But it's not just one project. In the consciousness of the flesh and silicon. Something that could change the balance of power. Amanda shrugged my hand. Who created it? And for what? Zephyr laughed, a metal laugh. Governments, corporations, everyone wants control. But some believe that true evolution lies in getting rid of the chains of biology. That is the answer to that quest. We emerged at night by an outlet that was open air. While observing the lights of the ships in the port, Amanda approached. His eyes shone with the light of the stars. Alex, he whispered, do you think we are more than flesh or circuits? Is there anything in us that transcends the laws of physics? The answer was in the depths of my mind, in the memories of the war and the nights in solitude. Yes, Amanda. There is something in us, something that burns like a star in darkness. She came even closer, and her lips found mine under the mantle of the stars. In that kiss, I felt the fusion of the human and the divine, and I touched the bell of the doors of paradise, of the promise of something that could go beyond. The infinite moment of the divine kiss ended and I went back to the harbor field with a sweet disorientation. We decided to follow the CA track to the moons of Jupiter. There, in Titan's clandestine locations, we would find some of the Martian rebels and renegade scientists. But we also discovered something else. Mental, an autonomous robot with ancient, non-captive artificial intelligence, which was forbidden on Earth-Moon. The business-political complex Earth-Moon had lost the space war, the Marsians had enough energy to freeze combat ships, missiles, drones, and everything they had launched, and they were organizing a federation together with space colonies and asteroid settlements changing international balances. But there were always gray areas and my friend Zephyr could get us tickets for our supposed honeymoon, which would be the best excuse for absent from work for a few days and embellished by the real beauty and sweetness of Amanda. I did not hesitate to give my car to Zephyr and a large fraction of my bank account by buying for him the hardware he asked me. Amanda and I approached a civilian shuttle to the moon where to combine barge to a passenger ship to La Ciudadela, a tourist capital of Mars.